Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, the feeling we chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. Drive. Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, the feeling we chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. Good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. Friends. I'm just gonna good, drive good. I'm just gonna cut you.
Welcome to week 3 of Emerge. Hopefully this is welcome back for most of you. We're glad you joined us this morning as we continue our celebration of the silver linings, lessons learned, and leaps of faith we witnessed in 2020. I'm Arlie Durham, the Chief Operating Officer of the Robbins Regional Chamber. I'm filling in for April this morning, and she's real disappointed she couldn't be here with you, but I promise you we've got some great guests lined up, and you won't regret tuning in. Our award series is presented by our longtime supporter and sponsor of our annual meeting, Cox Communications. And as always, this recording will be available later this morning on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Last time, we announced our program for this week would include presentations of our 2 2020 Rising Star Emerging Business Awards and the Charles K. and Barbara Shaheen Small Business of the Year Award. First up, we'll recognize our 2020 Rising Stars. The Rising Star Award was created in 2016 as a way to recognize the outstanding achievement of young emerging businesses in our chamber membership. Out of the struggle and often chaos of 2020, this year's 2 recipient businesses emerged and stood out because of their incredible generosity, positivity, growth, and impact. Our first guest today is Amanda Fiebig, the owner of AF Realty. Amanda wears so many hats that we actually had to track her down in the parking lot of her child's dentist office to make this award presentation. Fortunately, we caught it all on camera. So let's take a look and then we'll settle in for a chat with Amanda. Hi, Amanda. We're so glad to have you with us this morning, and congratulations for AF Realty being named our 2020 Rising Star.
Thank you very much. I am honored. It is such an amazing couple of years that we've had. And first, I obviously want to say thank you to the Robbins Regional Chamber and our community, as none of this would be possible without you. So thank you.
Well, we're so glad to be able to recognize you. The honor is very well deserved. I know that last year we all got a lot of curveballs, but from the outside looking in, it seems like your industry in particular faced some really unique challenges, and I want to talk to those later. But before we get to that, I know you have a really great backstory, and I'd love to learn more about why now, why here? Why did you bring AF Realty to Houston County?
Right. So we moved here from Colorado. My husband and I served in the Air Force, and we were trying to find a place to grow roots. And my husband's family is actually from Hawkinsville, so we would come to visit, and really just fell in love with the Southern hospitality in the area. And we realized that this was where we wanted to raise our family and continue to grow and learn and be part of a community, just like we had been with all the different Air Force bases where we had served. So felt like a natural fit.
Well, we're sure glad you made that decision, and thank you for your service, both you and your husband. We sure appreciate that. This year in the pandemic, I know we all faced a lot of new challenges. Tell me what it was like for your business having to be socially distant while still selling houses.
Well, we're big huggers. We love to celebrate. So, meeting people for the first time to, help them and their families get situated. It was definitely different. You wanted to hug, you wanted to shake hands. And so you kept putting your hands in your pockets, trying to be respectful of that. But I would say that, truthfully, there isn't a single business that wasn't impacted during this time. But we have such an awesome community here, not just with the real estate community, but all the small businesses. So I really feel like there was a lot of information sharing. And, we all wanted to see everyone be successful and grow and thrive. And I really think that, coming together, we were all able to help one another. So I think that was a huge success. But the real estate market, we said we really truly didn't live in our homes. We go to work, we drop our kids to school. It was just kind of this constant. And then for the first times, we really were living in our home, working from home, really evaluate what home meant. And I think that that really kind of got things going to say, you know what, this house is too small, or this doesn't have the space we need to, work from home and telecommute. And that's kind of how the shift really started. And then, of course, we saw the interest rates lower. And of course, our area, we're so fortunate. Cannot believe all the growth and the businesses that were able to open doors, even with COVID happening. We truly were, not as impacted as other areas where people were still, employment was still on the high, or interest rates, obviously were a huge factor in that. But just the growth in our community over the last couple of years, I really think helped pull people through.
What are some lessons you learned while y'all were making these changes that are going to impact your business that you'll take forward?
I think the communication part, we really learned what that full service element looks like, especially with all the relocation traffic that we have for families that we're helping in Japan and Guam and England and, everywhere, come into Robins Air Force Base and from out of state, really using the technology that has always been here, with videoing property and changing the way that we market homes and communicate that information, out to the public. So I think there's some good that came too, in learning how to be able to grow and still provide that awesome customer service.
Mm-hmm. And despite those challenges that you did have, like we all went through, most all of us also had some really great highlights. When you look back at this past year, what are you going to recall with fondness?
Honestly, I think that just seeing, being a part of it all, there were so many awesome moments with businesses opening their doors, still figuring out ways to celebrate the successes, of other businesses in our community, celebrating the way that we were able to overcome, graduations and special moments. I feel like, truly it was just being a part of that, being able to celebrate that with the families that, I say, let me be part of your family story. That it rings so true, as you're watching all of this unfold, in the community. So I'd say the highlights were really just, being able to be a part of it, was so special, and seeing the successes.
You mentioned technology. I know when we were in the height of the pandemic and all under lockdown, the chamber, we did a lot of things to try to raise people's spirits, and y'all were doing some really fun stuff too. Tell me a little bit about how y'all got involved.
So we decided, to do these weekly challenges with not only just with our clients, but with the community. So every week we had a different theme. We did a Lego challenge where you had to build, your perfect home. We had another challenge where the kids would take things from their backyard and create their name. We did coloring contest. We did a dog contest where they did costumes. It was about a 7-week spread that every week we came up with a challenge to be able to, we knew everybody was at home. We knew that kids were at home, and it was just a fun way. And we had a lot of adult interaction, too, with it. It just wasn't the kids. It was a lot of fun.
Sure sounds like it. I know I enjoyed watching all the pictures y'all posted about it.
Yeah.
Clearly, in just that y'all took that on yourselves to help everybody keep their spirits lifted. Community is really important to you, to AF Realty, to the whole team. Tell me a little about y'all's commitment to serve the community and why you feel like that is so important for AF Realty to take a part in.
Well, we wouldn't have what we have without the community. They support us. They refer business to us. They really are a part of our family. So being able to be involved with different boards, give back to different charities, there's always a need. There's always a drive that's taking place. Rainbow House is one of them. That's really near and dear to my heart. I really think that it's important to be able to give back. We're so fortunate, and there's always a need. So we're always involved in something, whether it's through a civic club that's giving back, children's sporting events, Toys for Tots. I mean, there's always something that you can do. And I just think it's really important that, we give back and that we are a part of the community.
Well, Amanda, we are sure glad that y'all are part of our community. Thank you again for bringing AF Realty to Houston County, for serving our country, and for joining us this morning. It's always a pleasure to have a chance to catch up with you, and congratulations to AF Realty for being one of our rising stars.
Thank you.
Our second honoree is Mini Dixie Donuts. Owner Ashley James and her team opened for business in the spring of 2020 amid some pretty challenging circumstances. But just like the delightful sweet she serves, they never fail to bring a smile to everyone they come in contact with. Earlier this month, we caught up with Ashley in her store. Let's watch how it happened to present her award. Good morning, Ashley. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
And congratulations for Mini Dixie Donuts being named a 2020 Rising Star. I know this is not your first venture into the world of donuts. Tell us a little bit about how and why you chose to bring Mini Dixie Donuts here to Warner Robins.
So, I want to start by thanking you guys for the award, and congratulations to Amanda and her team. She does so much for our community, and thank you for your service. I brought Mini Dixie Donuts. It was more of an idea that kind of came to fruition through owning a Daylight Donuts out west. I had one in southern Utah that I sold whenever I moved home to Georgia, and had been researching mini donuts for quite a while. I really like, from a catering perspective, having donuts for like weddings and birthdays and office parties, and you can eat a few of them and not feel quite as guilty as eating big donuts. So, I really wanted it to be different and stick, with the kind of the sweets line with having donuts. And that's kind of how the donut shop came about.
What was it like this time? Because this time you opened during a pandemic.
For sure. It was very different. We opened right in the middle of quarantine in April, and we knew that we had to be able to adapt to what was going on. We started doing pre-boxed assortments that people could come in and kind of grab and go, help people to feel comfortable. We were kind of weeding through the process and the details just like everyone else, and trying to operate a business in the middle of it. We had a virtual ribbon cutting with the chamber. That was the first time, that we had done that, and still be able to celebrate and do it virtually without, I'm just like Amanda, I'm a hugger. I'm a people person. I like to see people and connect with people. So just being able to grow and adapt through this whole process and with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all were our first virtual ribbon cutting. It was exciting to go through that with you. We appreciate the opportunity to celebrate with you. That first week when y'all got started, I know you had a little bump in the road with an equipment failure that led to a brief closure of your business. I can't imagine that would be comfortable at any time, but especially first week during a pandemic. How'd you deal with that? How'd you cope? What was the community response? The
community has been so great to us. I mean, we would not be in business today if it were not for this amazing community. We did have an equipment issue, and with it being in the middle of April through dealing with COVID and quarantine and businesses being closed, the manufacturer would actually was like a 2-week period before they could come to service the equipment. And I kind of teased them on the phone. I was like, I'll leave a key. I'll meet you there anytime. Whatever we can do to work through this process together. But everybody has been so great, even working with them to get the equipment fixed and to be back in business. It all worked out.
That's fantastic. What lessons have you learned about both yourself and the business community from surviving your first year?
the biggest thing for me, I know we try to get away from using the word pivot, but being able to just adapt, to help each other, to share ideas, marketing techniques, things that have worked, things that have not worked, using social media, and the Robins to Go platform has just been amazing even for businesses that have been here for a long time. They were able to reach a whole new customer base that they had not had before. So being able to, lean into each other and into other businesses and the community involvement and the sharing of ideas between everybody, it's truly been amazing.
And I know you've done some really innovative things in terms of partnering with other businesses, things I wouldn't have even expected out of a donut shop, partnering, doing pairings and all that kind of stuff. Tell us a little bit about those risks you take and how they've paid off.
I think some of it, the idea kind of came about with just being able to promote other businesses too, even through our business, whether they needed the exposure, whether it was a new business or one that had been here a long time, or whether they just, thought it was a neat idea to put donuts with their product and, kind of be able to showcase the two of them together through all of this, and using our social media platforms together to kind of collaborate between the two businesses with an audience that I may not have had, had they not be purchasing donuts, or vice versa through their business.
Mm-hmm. You've mentioned many times the importance of community, and we've seen you on your social media taking donuts to frontline workers, nonprofits, other businesses all around the community. And like we were just talking about, we know you've developed a number of partnerships with other businesses in your industry. This was definitely a time when you could have said every business for yourself. No one would have blamed you, but you went a very different route. Why do you feel it's so vital to meet with and even give your time to help other businesses in your industry?
I say this all the time. We say it at the donut shop. We say it in our personal lives. It's about community over competition. And I truly, truly mean that. I think that we can all help each other. We're a county of like 170,000 people. And so there's enough business for all of us, and we can just all help each other, whether it's bakeries or in real estate like Amanda. There's just always a way that we can help each other. That's for sure.
Well, in spite of everything 2020 threw at you, I know, like all of us, you had some great moments that you're going to look back as highlights. What sticks out in 2020 as something that you will remember fondly?
I think most of all is this community. I mean, we've seen generosity even from customers that were in line and helped another customer. We've seen it from community involvement and business owners helping other business owners. Just this community. I mean, that's really the big takeaway from this past year, because it has been hard, but there's been a lot to celebrate and to highlight too.
You are absolutely right. Our community has a really big heart, and it's exciting to see them display that and help each other. That's definitely been my favorite remembrance of 2020, is seeing everybody pull together and help each other. Well, we sure appreciate you bringing Mini Dixie Donuts to Warner Robins, and thank you again for joining us, Ashley. Congratulations one last time for Mini Dixie Donuts being named one of our 2020 Rising Stars. And I know I'll be seeing you and having some donuts soon.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to AF Realty and Mini Dixie Donuts for being the recipient of the 2020 Rising Star Emerging Business Awards. After hearing from these two fantastic new businesses, we're ready to turn our attention to one of the long-standing staples of our business community, the 2020 recipient of the Charles K. and Barbara Shaheen Small Business of the Year Award. Each year, this award is presented to a business with 40 or fewer employees who is a member of the chamber in good standing, demonstrates growth in sales, products lines, or staffing, has innovative initiatives, is considered successful by their peers, shows outstanding community service contribution and involvement, and is a privately owned for-profit entity. This year's Small Business of the Year has been a strong presence in our business community for the past 20 years. They don't just provide their customers with great products and services, they form lifelong relationships with them. In addition to building a thriving business, the owners of this business are devoted community servants. They donate their time and talents to numerous charitable and community causes and organizations. They help through the Chamber and other local organizations like the Heart of Georgia Hospice, the Alzheimer's Association, and the Methodist Children's Home. This past year, they sponsored a food giveaway with Center Point Church, serving over 200 food boxes to people during the week of Thanksgiving. When they see a need, they are always quick to respond, but they rarely stick around for the recognition. It's an immense honor to be able to recognize our 2020 Charles K. and Barbara Shaheen Small Business of the Year winner, Griggers Wealth Management. Earlier this month, we presented the award to Billy in person. Tiffany, let's watch that video. Hi, Billy. Good morning and welcome to Emerge.
Well, good morning. Boy, y'all fooled me when I came up front and there they were. I had no clue till I opened the door and there they all were standing. So kind of caught me off guard. So they did a good job.
Wonderful. That's what we like to hear. And congratulations. It is hard for me to imagine a business more worthy of this recognition than Griggers Wealth Management, particularly in 2020.
Well, thank you. It's our team is I think the big key to what we've done this last year. So I can't take credit for it by myself.
As always, very humble. I know that you've been in the investment and insurance industry for over 35 years. And I have heard that y'all just recently celebrated a milestone birthday of 20 years for Griggers Wealth Management. Congratulations on that as well.
Well, thank you. It was last year, the pandemic was our 20th year with LPL. So we were recognized by our broker dealer for working with them over the past 20 years. So we're very proud of that achievement.
Absolutely. And I know in that time, you've seen many things change and many things stay the same. So I want to start by looking back at the beginning. What led you to a decision to plant your business here in Warner Robins?
Well, I was actually working for First Liberty Bank in Macon. And of course, they got bought by BB&T. And at the time, I decided I was ready to open my own practice. I grew up here and, some of them moved in from the Air Force. My wife will tell you I'm about as homegrown as you can get. I've lived in the big city of Byron, and then I lived in the big city of Byron. So I've not been very far. So when we were looking to open an office, I wanted to have an office in a city that was growing, that was vibrant, that had an air about it of people helping people. And there wasn't the feeling of, there was a feeling of newness here as I moved in 20 years ago. And it's still that feeling as it still continues to grow and things change, really, like you say, every day. You never know, we now have a donut place that we didn't have before. So everything continues to evolve, and it's kind of neat to have been sitting on the sideline growing a practice and watching it evolve, and the businesses that have come in and the people that have come in and the ones that have wanted to help the community and jump in with both feet and do things. So it's been kind of a neat perspective to watch it grow.
Well, I know it's very safe to say you're definitely part of the businesses that have jumped in and wanted to help. And I know there have been ups and downs as with all things, but what are a few big moments that stand out as milestones in the Griggers Wealth Management story?
Well, I think moving to our own building, that we're here on 314 Corder Road and getting set up and having the grand opening that y'all helped us do back, golly, it's been roughly 15 years ago. It was really exciting to do that. And I'm glad to have a place that the clients can come to, sit in the conference room, pull their accounts up on the big screen TV and talk about their goals and their objectives and what they want to do with the rest of their life. So I think one of the big things has been having a location that we knew they could come to and sit down and talk with us. Part of the other process that I think is something that we're proud of is the team. Russ Pierce came with me from First Liberty Bank and has been with me as a friend and a co-worker for years. Hillary came 16 years ago, and she probably wouldn't want me to say that because that means you really know she's 29, but she is invaluable to me. Of course, then Julia, who's been here 9 years, who came to us from Synovus, who is the face you meet when you come into the office. And then, of course, the three young guys that we brought on board because Russ wouldn't want me to say this, but we're getting older and we needed some new guys. And we've got Lou DeVicarius, who came to work for us and completed his CFP. Lafayette is working on his CFP. And my son, James Griggers, who just graduated from Mercer, has come on board and passed his Series 7 and 66. So we have a team approach here of having the younger guys help us help the clients. And I think that's what the clients appreciate is that approach. So I think some of the momentous things we've had over the years is the growing and the bringing those people in. And of course, receiving awards from LPL each year of being Directors Club for outstanding client service and those kind of things. All mean a lot to us as a team because that's something that's important to us in helping our clients that are out there.
You've mentioned the importance of a fantastic team, and I cannot emphasize it. I agree with you more on that. That's how we get anything done. But we spoke to two businesses that are still in their infancy, really, earlier. And as someone who's gone through that stage and built a sustainable business, what other secrets do you have to your success?
Well, when you're running your own business, the old joke about you get to work 16 hours a day is just a matter of which 16 is the truth. I mean, you find yourself in the office or in their business, I'm sure, on Saturdays doing whatever is necessary because it's, for lack of a better phrase, it's your baby. I mean, you're nurturing it and you're wanting it to succeed. And so therefore, you care about all the little details. You want the clients to be taken care of, whether it be, go back to the donuts or helping somebody find the right house or us helping them meet their goals and objectives. All of that comes back to the personal client service that I think they both give and we give to the community because that's the important thing that everybody's looking for. In today's society, I think they get so much of the robocalls where you call in and you have to punch 1 and then punch 2. I'm very proud that when you call in, Julia or somebody answers the phone and you get to talk to a live person immediately. You're not going through that hassle of a large company and wondering, am I making progress or am I going to get put on hold when I get through 4 different numbers? So I think that's one of the neat things that a small business brings to the table that a larger company can't.
You are absolutely right. I can't tell you how I cringe every time I have to go through punch 1, punch 2, all the maze to try to hope that eventually you'll find a real person. That just drives me nuts. Clearly, y'all are very focused on putting your clients first. And I know some of your clients have been with you from even before the beginning of Griggers Wealth Management. And I know you've mentioned to me before that y'all have a really strong focus on long-term relationships and focusing on the long term. What do you mean by that?
Well, you grow with your client as things evolve. If you go back, some of the clients that I worked with before I was with the LPL, we still have, and they've just transitioned with us as we've moved along. And where they were in life, they might have been starting out with a family in the very beginning, and now they're my age and they're talking about retirement and their goals and objectives there of how to walk away from, say, a job on the base where they've been working for 30 years and they're now 55, 56 years old and they're going to want to make a transition and do the things that they want to do that they planned for all these 30 years. And we've kind of walked that path with a lot of the clients. It's been kind of a running conversation with our client reviews. I've had clients asking me now that they know we've got 20 years. So what year did I open my account? Because I think they're trying to figure out who was one of the first, clients that we had back in 2000. So that's been an interesting, let me look you up on the system and see when you actually came. I had one lady who was in her 80s bragging that she came 18 years ago. And I was thinking, golly, you're right. 18 years ago, what was life like back then? So I think it's a transition. As their life transitions, that's where our business has to transition to be able to help them solve the problems. One of the things that we're running into with a lot of them is, especially not necessarily the baby boomers, but the ones in between, of helping take care of their parents. I mean, that's something we probably 5 years ago never thought we would be addressing, that we have clients coming in now not to solve their problems, but they need to help mom and dad and how to do it. And so they're showing up on our doorstep with, which is the nice thing about being your own business, is people say, well, Billy and Russ and them know the answer. And they show up on our doorstep and we're able to help them. You need a lawyer, and you need a power of attorney, and you need this and you need that. And it's nice to get them on the right track so that when things happen later on, that they're able to get through that process and not have it be a problem, because they're trying to do what's best for their parents. And I know it's important to them to take care of them. So it's really neat to be able to help them through that transition.
Well, I know that even with all of your experience, 2020's excitement, shall we say, probably posed some challenges for you. What was it like running your business during a pandemic?
Well, it was kind of strange, because you ended up with we're used to sitting down with the clients in the conference room one-on-one and talking with each other. And I had to learn how to use Zoom, which was an interesting transition for me. I took computer science when you did them on COBOL cards, and the young guys here in the office, James and Lafayette and Lou, helped us transition to Zoom, and so we could talk to the clients online and still help them with their goals and objectives. And that was the biggest probably start of transition. And then having half the staff at home working from home, we got them all Microsoft Surfaces, and got them set up where they could be connected into the office. Total Computer Solutions was a big help with that, and got them all up and running so they could work from home during the time that everybody was supposed to be working from home back in, I guess that was March and April. So we were able still to help the clients, and the staff was able to help us, as Russ and I and James stayed in the office in case somebody needed to bring something in. So that's why I say it was a team effort. You had everybody from different spots all coming together to help us stay open and be successful for our clients.
Well, we've just talked about a few of the challenges that y'all got to grow with. What are a couple highlights that you're going to look back on and think, oh, well, that was a nice experience?
I'm very proud, and he probably hates that I would say this on the thing, but my son graduated from Mercer, and we got to go see him graduate, and he's probably up the hall cringing right now while I'm saying it. But I was very proud of how he did at Mercer. He majored in finance, and now has his Series 7 and 66. And Lou has completed his CFP, which is getting him Certified Financial Planner, for those of y'all who don't know what CFP means. But so that he's able to help. We've got Lafayette, who is going to be the new president of the Kiwanis coming up. So we've got people involved in the community, and that those are the highlights to me when they come in and tell me, guess what's happened for me, or guess what they asked me to do, and that's really cool to me. The 200 boxes that we did with Centerpoint for the food, that was a neat day, and the staff all came out, and we worked with the church, and I think it was a unique experience for all of us who, we weathered the pandemic, still in our homes and still able to feed our families, but to be able to put a box in that person's car and know that they needed that food and you were making a difference. I think was a highlight to me, because we all were standing together as a team doing it at the church. And of course the church was there, and they had staff that helped us also. So I don't want to diminish them, but I was just real proud that my guys and ladies were there doing what they could to help.
Well, it really sounds like congratulations are needed all around. Everyone at your office is excelling, which is truly wonderful to be able to celebrate that with y'all. And I've often heard that the key to success isn't about getting the priorities of your schedule straight, but scheduling your priorities. So clearly, on top of taking care of your team, delivering top-notch service, and running a successful business, y'all have prioritized giving back. What is it that makes that choice so important to y'all?
Well, I think it goes back to my father. Growing up, he ran a plumbing, heating, and air conditioning business, and he always gave back. And so growing up in that atmosphere, you learned that was just the way it was. Grew up in an era where you didn't have cell phones. He had a pager, and we would leave a job site and we would be heading home, and mom would be expecting us for dinner, and he would have to stop at somebody's house to do something for them, 99% of the time for free, because it was after work. And you just learn that you give back, and that there are other people that need you, and that you've been blessed in life. And that's why you need to give back, is because you've been blessed in those situations. So, when we got a chance to work on commercials with Don Rozier and Heart of Georgia Hospice, that was great. I mean, to jump in and do commercials, Cox helped us put them together and talk about Heart of Georgia Hospice and their needs during this pandemic. And John Rowland with the Alzheimer's Association, and run commercials for them with us together of how we support them. Those were neat. I enjoyed being able to be in a position to be able to help them. And I think that's what all of us as small business owners have to realize, is that we're all part of a bigger community, and part of our success is helping those others when they're in need.
Well, Billy, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me today. I've really enjoyed learning about the legacy of leadership that you're part of and that you're fostering in the next generation through your staff and through your family. I can't tell you how proud I am that we can call y'all one of our own, or a group of our own, and we've got you in Warner Robins. Congratulations again at being named our 2020 Charles K. and Barbara Shaheen Small Business of the Year. We really appreciate having y'all.
Well, thank you for giving us the honor, and we'll try to do our best to live up to it. So thank you.
No doubts. Before we announce our next week's award winners and guests, I want to pause for a quick message from our Emerge series sponsor, Cox Business.
It's more than internet and voice solutions. It's how you connect your work to the world. Get 99.9% reliability when you switch to Cox Business today.
Thank you again to Cox for their support of this series and for helping us recognize today's awards recipients. Now I'm excited to announce the award winners who will join us and share their stories next week. First up, we'll recognize the recipient of the Charlie L. Jones Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is presented to an individual whose service spans a significant number of years that may involve any combination of business, civic, governmental, or religious activities. This is the highest individual honor that the Robbins Regional Chamber presents each year. Outstanding community members like Osegan, Cowart, Callahan, Greenway, Watson, Wiggins, and many more have received this honor in its 50-year history. It's truly an honor to announce that the 2020 recipient of the Charlie L. Jones Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award is George Slappy. I can't wait to hear from George next week, to hear his story and learn more about his impact on our community. Congratulations, George, an honor well deserved. Then we'll close out the Emerge 2021 series with the recognition of the 2020 Business of the Year. This award is presented to a business with more than 40 employees who's a member of the Chamber in good standing, demonstrates growth, has innovative initiatives, is considered successful by peers, shows evidence of outstanding community involvement and contribution, and is a privately owned for-profit entity. This year's Business of the Year has been in our community for the past 20 years. They do more than just serve their customers. They truly become part of their customers' families. Since they opened their office in Bon Air in 1999, they've served thousands of our fur babies in their 7,000 plus square feet state-of-the-art facility. They're the only veterinary clinic in the Bon Air Warner Robins area that offers digital radiography. And at a time when many businesses turn to focus inward, they've continued to look forward towards growth. They've expanded their Bon Air office, doubling the capacity for the veterinary center, and they've increased their services. Frankly, they also may have the most adorable website I've ever seen. In addition to a full-blown veterinary hospital, Dr. Hodges is opening a national franchise pet spa later this year and continues to be everyone's favorite country vet. It's my pleasure to announce the 2020 Business of the Year winner, Critter Fixer Veterinary Hospital. Dr. Hodges, thank you to you and your team for all you do for Houston County. We can't wait to talk with you next time and celebrate your success. Well, that's going to wrap up our program for this week. We hope to see you back next time, Wednesday at 10 o'clock for the final installment of Emerge 2021. We'll see you next time.
The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.